Hello student, today we are going to start our new topic, clauses. What is clause? Clause is a group of related words that contains at least one subject and one verb, and it used as a sentence or part of a sentence. Second, when a clause has complete meaning on its own, it can be used as a sentence, but when it has incomplete meaning, it is used as part of a sentence. Now look at some examples. He is a new reporter. This is a clause and this is also called a sentence. She loves music. This is a clause and also a complete sentence. So we can say that every sentence is a clause in itself. Now look at the next example. Where he stays. This is a part of sentence. In this there is a subject and verb, but it's not give its complete meaning in itself. It is a part of sentence, so it is a dependent clause. Who lives next to my house? This is also a clause, but it is used as a part of a sentence. Type of clauses. There are two types of clauses. Independent clause, it is also called main clause. Second is dependent clause. It is also called subordinate clause. Independent clause, it is also called main clause or principal clause. When we connect two independent or main clause with coordinating conjunction like but and, then we make a compound sentence. Second is dependent clause. It is also called subclause or subordinate clause. It is connect with subordinate conjunctions. Clause, independent clause, which is also called principal clause or main clause. An independent clause has a subject and a verb and can stand alone as a sentence. For example, they work in a marketing department, or what products are they going to launch this year, or the company didn't perform well last year. We shall, we do. If we connect two independent clauses with coordinating conjunction, that they make a compound sentence. Second are dependent clause. They are called subordinate clause. A dependent clause has a subject and a predicate, but it cannot stand alone as a sentence. There are three kinds of subordinate clause: noun clause, adjective clause, and adverb clause. Dependent clause are incomplete without main clause or principal clause. They need principal clause or main clause to complete their meaning. Dependent clause, there are three kinds of dependent clause. First, noun clause. A noun clause is a subordinate clause used as a noun. For example, what you have proposed is acceptable. We can find noun clause by the question what. For example, what is acceptable? What you have proposed. This is our noun clause. Noun clause are introduced by what, if, or that conjunction. Next is adjective clause. An adjective clause is a subordinate clause that modifies a noun or a pronoun. It means it works as an adjective. For example, the man who is standing over there is a product development manager. In this sentence, who is standing over there is an adjective clause. Look at the next example. His team has come up with products that have more features for customers. In this sentence, that have more features for customers is an adjective clause. Adjective clause are introduced with relative pronouns like who, whom, which, that, whose, where, when, why, and what. Who and whom is used for people or persons. which is used for animals and objects, that is used for people, animals and things. We can use that for all. Whose is used for possessive form, and where is used for places, when is used for time, why is used for reason, and what is used for things. Active clause start with these relative pronouns. Our last subordinate clause is adverb clause. An adverb clause is a subordinate clause that modifies a verb, an adjective, or an adverb. It tells when, where, how, why, to what extent, or under what condition. For example, if the products are fit for the customers, we will maintain sales increase of 10%. Now in this sentence, if the products are fit for the customer is an adverb clause. Next, there will some promotion when the new products are available. Now in this sentence, when the new products are available is an adverb clause. Adverb clause work as an adverb. They give the answer of when, where, how, why, what extent. All the subordinate clauses are always introduced by a subordinating conjunction. For example, adverb clause are also introduced by subordinating conjunctions like time. If we are talking about time, we use conjunction after as soon as, etc. And they are used to say when something happened. For example, her father died when she was young. When her father died, when she was young. For showing cause and effect, we use because, not that, or since. Indicate the reason means because now, or used to mean because. I couldn't feel anger against him because I liked him too much. To show contrast, we use even though, although, or though. They show unexpected result. For example, even though I wasn't tired, I went to bed. Show direct contrast, we use while, whereas. While and whereas are used to show direct contrast with no difference of meaning. For example, Mary is rich, John is poor. To show condition, we use if, unless, only if, even if, etc. These are used to talk about a possible situation and its consequences. For example, if it rains tomorrow, I will take my umbrella. Now there is the condition. If it rains tomorrow, I will take my umbrella. And remember one thing, subordinate clause or dependent clause always start with subordinate conjunctions. And if we are using subordinate conjunction in the starting of the sentence, we separate the next sentence with a comma. For example, even though I wasn't tired, comma, I went to bed. In this sentence, even though is a subordinate conjunction. We separated the main clause with a comma. I went to the bed is a main clause in this sentence. Last, we can say that if we have one main clause in a sentence, then it is a simple sentence. And if we have more than one main clause in a sentence and connect it with coordinating conjunction, that it is a compound sentence. And if we have a main clause and other are subordinate clause and connected with subordinate conjunction, then our sentence is complex sentence.